Where might these specific EP3 receptors be located? And it seems like they are located most prominently in the anterior and preoptic areas of the hypothalamus. And why these are important for responding to temperature changes such as heat, responding to temperature changes such as cold. So whether you're responding to heat and sweating or cold and shivering, these are the specific hypothalamic nuclei that we would be most concerned about. So the neurons in the preoptic anterior hypothalamus seem to be the ones that are most prominent to undergo heat retention mechanisms such as shivering and heat dissipation mechanisms such as sweating. So now these prostaglandin E2 molecules can stimulate EP3 receptors in these preoptic anterior hypothalamic neurons, and this will induce the fever response. So now we want to compare fever to other types of hyperthermia. To do that, we're going to compare and contrast fever versus exercise, because I think this provides us a nice mechanism by which we can look at the differences between increasing internal temperature via two different mechanisms. So both fever and exercise increase internal body temperature. And we all know that. We've all had a fever at one point, and we've all done a little exercise at one point or work. We know that both of those increase our body temperature, but they do it in two dramatically different ways. So let's look at fever first. Fever increases body temperature by first increasing the temperature set point. So as soon as you respond to either a bacteria, such as LPS, you would then have a cytokine response. That cytokine response then goes via a prostaglandin E2 to an EP3 receptor on a preoptic anterior hypothalamic neuron, and that increases the temperature set point. That drives there to be an increase in body temperature by things like shivering, causing vasoconstriction, ways to minimize body heat loss. By doing all of those items, you start to increase your body temperature. Exercise is almost the exact opposite. Body temperature increases, but your body is trying to cool itself. So during exercise, you're sweating, you're vasodilating your skin, you're definitely not shivering. What you're trying to do is lose heat. And even though you're trying to lose heat, body temperature gradually rises because you're producing more heat than you are losing it. Comparing that with fever again, there's a change in the set point, and that drives up internal temperature versus a heat stress, whether it be exercise induced. Usually there's an increase in internal temperature because of an increase in metabolism, even though set point stays flat.